Hello family, these are our Can You Do 62 solutions. Just like for Can You Do 61, I am going to, if there's two of the same kind of problem, I am only going to show you the solution for one of them. So for 27 and 28, all you need to do is check the conditions. So on 27, I have an SRS of 50 was taken, so your random condition is met. Large counts is met because the calculations are greater than or equal to 10. But the 10% condition is not met because this is one of those rare problems where they actually give you the population size. Often they don't give us population size, but in this case they did. They told us that the population is the 175 kids that live at Latoya's boarding school. Well, 1/10 of 175 is 17.5. So n equals 50 is greater than or equal to, just kidding, greater than 1/10 of the population. So the 10% condition is not met. The other way that you could write this is n less than or equal to 1/10 n. You could draw a line through that, or you could say 50 less than or equal to 1/10 of 175. You could draw a line through that. This is not the only way to show that you are violating the 10% condition, so choose whatever works best for you. So on this next problem where Glenn wonders what proportion of the students at his school believe tuition is too high, you're basically doing the same exact thing. Make sure that you're thorough. Make sure that your work looks neat and that you're thorough. I saw a couple of your guys' pages while you were working and it was not looking very good. So make sure that you have all the information you need. The last problem on this page, I talked to each class about it before I gave this assignment. It's number 31, where it says for you to show your work. So let me grab a blank one real quick. Where it says to show your method, you want to do this thing that we did on page 611. So I believe I told my B days that, but my A days, I'm not sure if I made that clear enough. Okay, moving into the problem for binge drinking. So I think that I'm going to skip this one. I'm not going to show you this one, but I do want to make sure that you know the basic numbers that you need. So, in a recent national survey of drug use and health, 2312 of 5914 randomly selected full-time U.S. college students were classified as binge drinkers. So this is what we're used to, where they give us our sample size of 5914. They give us the information that we need to calculate p hat. They do not give us the value of n, but n is all full-time U.S. college students. And it needs all of those descriptors, not just all U.S. college students, all full-time U.S. college students. On part B, please make a note that this is asking you about a claim. Now, in our actual notes, it wasn't asking us about a claim. It was asking us if a value was plausible. So on page 613, letter B, it's specifically asking, is this value plausible? And in that case, our answer is very straightforward and easy. We just say yes or no. Either yes, it's in our interval, or no, it's not. But on B, you are going back to, or you are doing this idea. Do we have convincing evidence against the claim? So I guess this isn't really a good one either, because in these we're not saying if we have convincing evidence. So I apologize about that. Did we do that? I feel like we've done that somewhere. Sorry, I just had the wrong page. It's page 608. So you want to follow the framework from page 608. To C as your guide on this problem. So you're checking, is there convincing evidence against the claim? Remember, we're not trying to support the claim. We're just checking if there's evidence against the claim. So the teens texting is one that I'll do with you because its setup is a little bit different, I think. Let me just double check. No, I actually lied. I'm not going to do this one with you either. Let me just make sure that you have your information once again. So little n is 799. P hat is 392 over 799. And n is all teens. Letter B is just like it is on our notes. So just like it was on page 613. So this one is just asking, is it plausible? This one, you need to state whether or not you believe the claim, and that depends on whether or not you have convincing evidence against the claim. This just wants to know if the value is plausible. And okay, teacher, get a grip. I'm going to show you the solutions to this one because I just remembered that it's a little bit different. So let me pull those up for you. So just for that bottom part, the confidence interval does not include 0.45. So if your confidence interval there was some calculation that you did wrong on yours. It's very close though. This 0.45 is very, very close to your lower bound, but the confidence interval does not include 0.45. So it is not a plausible value for the true proportion of teens who text with their friends every day. I believe the lower bound was something like 45.5, which is slightly bigger than 0.45 because this would be 0.450. So even though it's so close, it's not included. 0.450 is not the same as 0.455, and that matters. Okay, the last one I will give you the full solutions. I'll give you the full solutions on the last one. So it is it's combined. Number 37 wants to know what error might exist that is not included in your margin of error. Remember, margin of error is accounting for sampling variability. It's that natural tendency for samples to be different. So if you need to write that down, make sure you do. Margin of error accounts for sampling variability. And margin of error is included in this 99%. So what is the other 1% that we can't account for? Well, those are things that are to some extent beyond our control. So for instance, it is likely that some students will lie about their drinking habits, especially if they're underage. Or what if they drink so much they don't remember how much they drink, or they misremember how much they drink? So that 1% that is not accounted for by the margin of error are things that to some extent we can't control. We can't force people to tell the truth. We can't force people to remember correctly. Okay, then this is the solution for number 39. I'm not really going to talk through it. I'm just going to let you compare your answer to my answer. Let me see if I can move my face out of the way. So the only thing that I want to make special note of is the way that they worded it was slightly confusing, but this is another example of where we do not know the population number. They worded it so that they told you how many needed tutoring and how many did not. Well, maybe needed's the wrong word. They gave you the numbers as the amount of students that participated in coaching and the amount of students that did not participate in coaching. So that's a total of 3,160 students. They do not give us the true amount of students who retake the SAT. So they're saying of all of the kids that retake the SAT, how many of them receive coaching before they retake it. Coaching would be the same as like tutoring. So our estimate for that is about any percent from 12% to 15%, which is very, very low. Maybe it's expensive to get a coach. Okay, these solutions are not very long, so I'm hoping that the information that I have for you is sufficient for you to feel confident and like you are able to be successful on this assignment. If you are a distance learner, please email me with any questions that you have, and if you are an in-class learner, I always ask if there's questions that you have, so bring those to class. If you don't want to ask in front of everybody, take advantage of any of the work time that we have and just stop me and I'll answer any questions that you have. Okay, that's it. One other thing, if you have questions and you want to ask me before class, like right before we start, that's also helpful because then I can just address it to the whole class and then include it in my recording for that day's lesson. So if you don't want to ask questions in front of the class, it'd probably be really helpful if you just ask me before class, and it just takes a second, and then I can answer it for everybody. Okay, that's really it. Love you guys.